Okay. Hey, Will here. I've not been up this early in a while, so bear with me. But yeah, this is it. The 5th character. I honestly don't have any wants. Like, Ultimate, honestly, it is amazing how many characters are in that game that I love. Oh, breakfast. But Tails' character would actually make me cry, though. Like, yeah, Tails is like probably my 2nd favorite RPG series, just behind Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross. Like, I don't think anything will ever touch the Chrono series, but so yeah, I'm like happy for whatever. I just want to know what the character is. I want to know what's going on with Pack 2. Yeah, oh shit. It's gonna start in like 11. No. 1 more minute. It's gonna happen. I'm not even looking over there. They might be ahead of me. I don't know. It says we're good to go. I'm always paranoid though, man. Am I actually like connected as fast as everyone else? I don't know. Either way, thanks Sakurai. Cool game you got there. Appreciate all the hard work you do. Very happy with all the DLC choices so far. Roster is amazing, honestly. Just me personally, like, a Tails character is like the last possible thing I could want. Here we go.
Hello everyone, I'm Masahiro Sakurai, director of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate from Sora Limited.
We all know who it is.
We'll be using today's showcase to give you a first look at our next DLC fighter.
No?
Actually, hardly anyone knows what we'll be announcing today, even among Nintendo staff worldwide. The development team and other stakeholders have been working on this fighter with the utmost secrecy. Which means other Nintendo staff around the globe will only start making preparations for release after the showcase has been broadcast. So it won't be available right away. Please understand that it will take a little time. I think even many Nintendo employees will be surprised to see this and say, wow, really? So, let's all share in the fun of getting our hands on the latest information. However, even if you say, that's not the character I was picturing, I hope you don't have any hard feelings. We've prepared a fighter reveal video. Once it starts, I think you'll figure out who it is pretty quickly. Now, let's do this.
Let's go. Pretty quickly. That means they're popular. That means it's not Tails. Tails is not that popular. Not like instantly recognizable. Byleth. It's Byleth, boys! How's that surprising, though? Everybody...
The time has finally come to unleash the forbidden spell of Zelda.
No one's really surprised by this. Are they? Dude, I'm happy, though. Byleth is a really cool character.
What were you thinking, charging right into an enemy's trap?
I was sending Byleth memes in chat.
I too am trapped within this
By the way, I was like flooding TE chat. Was like, yeah, it's gonna be Byleth though.
Are you prepared to die?
No.
I thought as much. I also do not wish to die. And yet... there is no other choice. You must join Smash. Join Smash Brothers already! What in the world are you waiting for?
Smash.
So joining Smash consumes even the darkness itself.
Oh my god. I love this. Hell yeah, let's go Dorothea and Smash. Oh. Oh, this is setting up for another character. Or now it's just the rewind time thing.
So you return, and sooner than expected. I see. Too many swordsmen, are there? And you wield the sword as well? What will you do? Huh. So that is how you plan to win the day? So be it. I reward your cleverness this time.
Too many swords, too many swords. What? Tokyo Mirage Sessions?
How is this?
What? What? This is very Tokyo Mirage Sessions. What the hell's going on?
Of anyone, you should be able to handle the hero's relics.
Hell yeah.
With Arid Fire, strike with superior reach. Use Amir's overwhelming power.
I've never thought about that.
Unleash the blinding speed of Failnaught.
I don't actually know
Sword
if
of the
it's
creator.
possible.
Each weapon matches a direction.
Yes, let's go fishing.
Your will and mine be now as one.
This Garreg Mach probably looks better than it does in the game.
Both sides of time are revealed. Through Smash.
Hell yeah.
Show the world.
I love this. I have a feeling they're gonna be really slow, but I will definitely try them. Sakurai is like a huge Fire Emblem fanboy,
Yes,
by the way.
there you have it. Byleth from Fire Emblem
Not
Three
surprised.
Houses is joining the battle. Fire Emblem Three Houses was released just last summer, so it's still very new. Even so, you'll soon be able to play as them in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. This release is planned for January 28th. You'll have instant access if you have the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Fighters Pass, and it will also be available for purchase individually. In case you're not familiar with Fire Emblem or Three Houses, I'll explain a few things, so don't worry. First off, what is Fire Emblem?
I don't know if you can see that. I'm not gonna look at it right
It's
now,
really
but
hard to pronounce in Japanese. The producer said it's okay if I just say Fire Emblem. But when writing it, if you don't write Fire
Smuglet.
Emblem, the Fire Emblem police will come and get you, so please be careful. The series' first entry launched in Japan on the Famicom in 1990. You could say it was a pioneer in the genre of tactical
this
role-playing
really doesn't
games.
take 30
You
minutes
might
to
be wondering
explain
what
though,
makes
does
it
it?
particularly tactical. Well, it's tactical in that it
I wonder if
simulates
they're just
combat.
gonna break down
You can think of it as
the
moving
character
pieces in a
completely,
board
or I wonder if
or in
they'll
other
touch on
words, a
Pack
game
2.
in which you advance units across a grid and battle. When we talk about tactical games of that era, there were lots of ones in which you command tanks, aircrafts, and so on. But Fire Emblem was unique because each unit was a specific character, sort of like in role-playing games. Plus, something made it stand out from other Nintendo products. Characters could permanently die. That's pretty direct language though, so perhaps we should just say they're sleeping with the fishes. But really, if a character fell in battle, you'd lose that unit. They'd be gone and you couldn't use them again. Recent entries in the series maintain this concept of permadeath to some degree in classic mode and what have you, but a lot of games now allow strategic withdrawals, so to speak. In the older games, your units would really be gone, never to be mentioned again. Scary. The game's stories are told like chronicles of war, with increasingly distinct characters and engrossing scenarios. Several characters also appear in the Super Smash Bros. Series, and 6 of the 7 can use a counterattack. It's their down special. There's actually a reason for this. When I was considering how to incorporate Fire Emblem fighters into Super Smash Bros. Melee, I thought it might be interesting to reflect the turn-based nature of the original game. First comes your opponent's turn. They attack and you counter. Next comes your turn. And now, Fire Emblem Three Houses is the 17th game in the series. People who aren't Japanese in particular might be thinking, 17 games? There are that many? Well, if you include Fire Emblem Heroes in the remakes, but you don't include the Satellaview game, Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE, and Fire Emblem Warriors, then it comes out to 17 games. Let's try saying them in the Fire Emblem Can You Say It challenge. I'll give it a try.
暗黒竜と光の剣、外伝、紋章の謎、聖戦の系譜、トラキア776、封印の剣、烈火の剣、聖魔の功績、草原の奇跡、暁の女神、新暗黒竜、新紋章、覚醒イフ、ヒーローズ、エコーズ、風化雪月。
There you go, 17. So you saw how I was counting in a weird way, right? I was counting in binary. This is 0. Fold this here and you get 1, and then you get 2, then 2 plus 1 equals 3. So this would be 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then you get 16. Add 1 and you get 17. Awesome, isn't it?
So that's what he was doing with his hand.
You can actually count up to 31 on one hand.
Just counting.
And if you use both hands, you can count all the way
Today's
up to
Nintendo Direct is brought to you by the letter F. For Doom
If
fans.
you've given up counting the knots in a tatami mat, you could always give it a go. What is Fire Emblem Three Houses? In Japanese, the male version of the main character is called Bereto and the female version is called Beresu, but in English they share the same name, Byleth. Byleth becomes a professor who ends up leading one of 3 academic houses. Once you've chosen a house, you guide them through their school life.
But only one choice is the right
you end up
choice.
fighting the other houses. After a certain incident, 5 years pass, and you meet up with your grown-up students to battle against the other houses in their regions. It's a very sad game
time
in
skip
which your
Byleth's
former
gonna be a
allies become
costume.
enemies, turn hostile, and try to kill you. To understand the concept of Fire Emblem Three Houses,
Kinda boring,
I played
though,
an
if it's
early
just
version
like
of the game before its release.
Different hair color, costume. Maybe they'll
I've
work
done
it
the
into a
same thing
different
before,
color.
with The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, for example. Because I couldn't wait until launch to experience it, or we'd have never made it in time. For that title, I borrowed an early version of the game for 2 days, ran around all the areas, saw the ending, and realized for the first time, I guess we can't really have Breath of the Wild's Princess Zelda as a fighter. I did the same this time,
I mean, you
but with there
could,
being
but-
3 houses and multiple endings, it was really hard to get a feel for it. And of course, there weren't any walkthroughs I could reference. The game has multiple routes and the outcome of each is very different. Your experience will vary depending on the route you choose, and many of the characters you meet will adopt different roles in the story. I'll try to avoid spoilers when I'm talking about the fighter. I hope you'll understand. Before my demonstration, I should point out that when I did the Terry Bogard showcase video, I mentioned that it was recorded a month in advance. But this time, we have to account for the holidays and such, so we're filming 2 months in advance of this video's release. Right now, it's actually November.
Time travel.
Therefore, some of what I'm about to show you might differ a bit from the finished version. As always, I'm using a special in-game camera and such for demonstration purposes. Here I go. So, this is our new fighter, Byleth. Sadly, they're lacking in mobility. It's maybe a bit better than Robin's, but that's about all you can say for them. Throws are not their strong point either.
Why
Their
would it
grab
be
lacks
better
range,
than Robin's?
but
They have so
actually,
many
you could
options in
say that
range.
they're distance demon. The hero's relic they use changes depending on the direction you input with the stick.
That frame
Each
data.
of the hero's relics is a weapon that appears in Fire Emblem Three Houses. They look like bones, and there's a reason for that. First, let's talk about the weapon Byleth uses for upward inputs, the Sword of the Creator. The Sword of the Creator here is Byleth's default weapon. They use it for flurry attacks and tilt attacks, such as down tilt attacks, where it takes the form of a whip. They also use the sword for dash attacks and other moves. For their up smash attack, they'll whip the sword upward to launch enemies in the air.
Oh hey,
For their
the
up
guard
air
made it
attack,
in. The guard's
they'll
in the
wave the whip
game.
sword overhead. The hit detection for this attack lasts for a relatively long time. The up special move is really something. The sword extends like this, allowing you to do things like this.
Hi, Joker.
It was pretty terrifying how I knocked him into the air with that attack. And in addition,
What?
you can do awful things
Disrespect.
like this. That said, you'll launch opponents upward until their damage reaches a certain percentage. Exceed that percentage and you'll need to be careful. You may find it helpful to mid-air dodge. I've already shown this, but you can also use it to latch onto edges. So that's the up special. Now, for the sideways inputs.
Oh god.
This is Erdvar, the same name as the weapon from Celtic mythology.
I'm just
First,
waiting
we'll
for
go
that
through the
forward
forward
smash.
and back air
It's
attacks.
gonna be huge.
As you can see, they have a long reach. Like so. Marth's air attack keeps opponents in check too, right? If Byleth does the same thing, you'd win out, so you should be able to beat it. Next, the side smash attack. This also has a long range. It'll connect even from here. Also, if you add an upward tilt, it will be stronger. And if you've knocked an opponent down, the side attack won't hit unless you add a downward tilt to aim for them. By the way, the tip of the lance is more powerful. The shaft part is weaker, so it's not suited to close combat. It won't deal much damage, and it won't launch opponents far. That's why, as a rule, you want to hit with the blade part aimed upward, or downward in this case. Next, the side special move. Byleth will simply swing the lance like this, but again, it has excellent reach. For example, even when your opponent is at this distance, it'll still hit.
It's like a moving massive up
Actually,
smash
you can do a
almost.
smash attack to charge forward a little,
Oh.
like this. But as you'd expect, it can be easily shielded, so be careful. Use it in midair and you'll carve up a large area. Returning to the side air attacks from earlier, they have great horizontal reach, but they lack verticality. So this complements it well, although you'll be vulnerable when you land. Now, for the downward inputs. For these, Byleth will use an axe called Emir.
I wouldn't have cared what character it was. I
It's
just would have
named
been
after a
happy we
weapon
got
that
the
appears in
soundtrack.
Eucharitic
Smash.
music. First, the down air attack. It really is strong. You can try for a meteor effect with this attack. Next is the down smash attack. A heavy swing of the axe back and forth. As you can see, it has a great deal of launch power. And for the down special, Byleth channels all their energy into a devastating strike. It's a bold move, similar to the Falcon Punch, but here's what makes it different. When readying the move, there's a super armor effect, which allows you to withstand an attack.
Let's go super armor.
Just so you know, if you execute a Falcon Punch at about the same time, it plays out like this. It's a bit slower than the Falcon Punch, but due to the super armor effect, you have the advantage. Unless you get grabbed. Another notable aspect is that it lets you pass through platforms. While you're charging up, you can breeze past platforms like this to reach a lower area. It won't let you jump, but you could use it as a surprise attack. Also, you can turn around during the move. The swing takes a while, so if an opponent runs behind you during the move, you can quickly change direction. Even though it can be hard to land a hit with this move, it can be really effective when used
I kind of wish they just had a counter though. Counter's kind of busted in this game.
Plus, even if you fail to land a direct hit, any opponents on the ground nearby will still be launched a little. It's as if the quaking of the ground launches
stars.
By the way, earlier I talked a little bit about the other Fire Emblem characters' moves. I don't recommend using this down special against fighters from the Fire Emblem series, because you'll just get loads of counters. It hits with that much power in a single attack. Counters can actually multiply the power of blocked attacks, and using easily anticipated attacks like this could just get you hit by counter after counter.
So don't do it, scrubs.
Next, we have the neutral moves. The bow you use is called Fail Not, which shares its name with the bow from the Knights of the Round Table. It only appears in a few neutral moves. You've got the neutral air attack. This attack is similar to a move of Pit's and other fighters like him. It lets you spin the weapon around.
The hitbox didn't look great.
It's also easy to create certain combos with it. And with the neutral special, you'll let loose an arrow. It seems pretty straightforward, right? But there are a few noteworthy aspects to this bow. First, the biggest difference between this bow and Link's is that once you enter the command, you can keep charging until it's ready. You can't release it partway through the charge, so when it does fire, the arrow travels at high speed. It's also very powerful. That said, you can still cancel out of the stance using the shield button.
That's good.
You can also change direction while in the stance.
Huh.
It works up until this point, but if you keep holding the button, you'll unleash a powerful arrow that looks like a beam of light.
What?
You can perform this move by keeping the button held down.
That looked like a fucking final smash. That's gonna be toxic off stage.
And then fire.
Well, maybe it's not that powerful.
But again, you'll need to take care when using this move. For one, when you've powered up the move to its max, there's no way to cancel out of it. Not even with the shield button. In other words, you're committed to firing it. So you see, a situation like this is pretty terrible.
Ow.
Once you've entered the stance, you won't be able to do anything. Which means it's quite the risky attack to use against fighters who have a move with a Reflector Effect. But you could always just aim into the fray, as it is, after all, a long-range move, letting you deal a sudden blow to opponents. So you need to think carefully when using this projectile weapon. Byleth's final smash is called Progenitor God Ruptured Heaven. In the original game, there's a move called Ruptured Heaven. This is an enhanced version. As you can see, you team up with the mysterious Sothis and launch an attack together.
Is she in the taunts? Is she in the taunts? Please, I need her in the taunts.
Now, let's talk about the color variations. It's set up so that the default and odd-numbered color variations are male, while the even-numbered ones are female. However, the third, fourth, and fifth colors are, as you can see, reminiscent of the house leaders. Those of you who played the original game will of course understand what I'm referring to. The sixth color is based on Sothis, who you just saw earlier. And the seventh and eighth variations have a different hair color, which is based on something that occurs in the course of the original game's story.
But
didn't we see this variation in the final smash?
It's so similar though. I wish they'd done something else. Kind of a wasted slot.
Next, I'll introduce the stage. For this one, we of course tried to recreate the place where you spend most of the game, Garreg Mach Monastery. This is how Garreg Mach Monastery is laid out in the original game. From these, we chose to have it cycle through the marketplace, reception hall, bridge, and cathedral all in one stage. It's the type of stage that rotates
what about
through
the
different
cafeteria?
areas, such as these four.
I need to eat.
Let me introduce each of the guests that appear in these four areas. The first area is the marketplace. I think this is where a lot of people come to do their shopping. The guests that appear here are students of the Blue Lion's house, Dimitri, Dedu, and Ingrid. Not Dimitri, Dudu, or Ingrid. Their names are a bit difficult to say. They're largely from the Holy Kingdom of Fargus. Since it's a kingdom, that means they have a monarchy. For that reason, I guess you could say
Where's
Dimitri
Sylvain,
is the
though?
future king. He had quite a difficult life and may or may not end up with just one eye. He's an unfortunate one, that one. There are vendors on either side. In the original game, these are important booths where you buy all sorts of things, but here you can break them, you see. If you do break them, the stage will expand to the left and right.
All of these
I
are
wonder
gonna
where
be
people will buy
walk-offs.
their supplies now. And in the background, you can see the gatekeeper.
Let's go.
You often pass through this area in Fire Emblem 3 houses, and you end up talking to him a lot. Moving through these
Greetings,
areas
Professor.
is possible thanks to this mysterious platform. Just when it
Nothing
seems
to
like you've
report.
come to a stop, you'll come crashing back down. We've broken through the ceiling and slammed into the building.
Let's go, Dorothea. Let's go, Dorothea.
And the guests in the reception hall are Edelgard, Dorothea, and Petra of the Black Eagles. Take note, it's not spelled Edelgard. They're from the Adressian Empire. And as such, they embrace their military might. Edelgard is one of the characters who is central to the conflict. Depending on the path you take, she'll go through some terrible ordeals. You'll notice there are prominent chandeliers above the stage. It's possible to knock them down. However, Byleth can't actually reach it, even though it's their stage. You can reach it with other fighters, though. So, it's nice if you can work your way up there by getting lucky and being launched up, or perhaps by using another fighter as a stepping stone. There we go, I made it. And you can knock it down. Also, you can break this table.
Recovery. Please don't
Like
be
so.
doo-doo. Doo-doo.
Just like the sign that reads Furin Kazan in the Suzaku Castle stage, it can break if you launch the opponent into it at close range. Next up, the bridge. The camera rotates 90 degrees, creating this long area. It's very wide indeed.
I get it's like going up, but
It's similar to the Bridge of Elden stage. The guests are from the Golden Deer, Claude, Hilda, and
I
Lawrence.
feel like there's more
They
interesting
belong
places
to the
than
Leicester Alliance.
the bridge. Also gross. Why Lawrence? Why Lawrence of all
Because
characters?
it's an alliance of many noble families, you could say that they have a wide
Where's
assortment of
Lysithea?
members. And Claude is the sharpest of the bunch. Incidentally, both Claude and Hilda are the names of characters that appear in Genealogy of the Holy War, the 4th title in the Fire Emblem series. I guess once you've reached the 17th game and are creating 40 characters for each new entry, you're bound to get a bit of name overlap. The naming process must be tough. Hey, it looks like the Pegasus Knight is busy training. As for the bridge's design, it's just a long pathway, plain and simple. You can expect plenty of blows to be exchanged at the edges of the screen.
God.
You could also say it's a place where the fail knot really shines, and in this sense, I think it suits the Golden Deer perfectly. The last area is the Cathedral, only with some platforms you can pass through. The guests appearing in the Cathedral are Sedith, Flame, and Rhea. There's Seteth, who appears to have an extremely strong bond with his sister, Flame. She seems to be under the protection of him and Rhea, who you can see fighting during the opening of Fire Emblem Three Houses. All three have character quirks related to their true identities. I feel that Flame might be saying shush at this point, so I'll leave it at that. This is a simple area of the stage. All it has are these platforms. Being the last area, it may be a place where some intense battles will be waged. It'll cycle through each location in about 2.5 minutes.
Well, where's the fish?
Okay, today we'll have a tag team battle in Squad Strike with the DLC team pitted against Fire Emblem protagonists from throughout the ages. That'll give us precisely 5 players per side. Alright, here we go, Joker.
Let's go remix.
Joker! And Hero! Gee, we really made a lot, huh? Banjo! By now, I think you know what I'm doing. But basically, I'm trying to defeat all 5 opponents with just the Professor gear. But as expected, it's going to be a pretty tough battle, so I'm using anything I can get my hands on.
I mean, they're probably set to level 3, so...
It's not going to land that easily. Uh-oh, this is bad. Bennigan's. I better keep my distance. I'll use this chance to attack. Got him. That's scary. He's invincible for a moment here. Lots of explosives. Ouch. He perfect shielded that, huh? Good one.
I need to nerf level 3s. They can parry.
If I do this, or like so. No anti-air, huh? There, the soccer ball connected. Good, there's Mom.
Hi, Mom.
You're in a good spot, Mom. Ah, I shouldn't have taken that. Gardevoir. Well, I guess no one uses projectiles. At this point, it doesn't matter if Gardevoir's there or not. I feel like the enemy might get this smash ball. See? They got it. But I mustn't give up. I can't waste this chance. There's another smash ball. Yes, got it. Now! What are you charging up for?
Who programmed this?
There's still more. Whack!
Oh my god. Fun.
Go on, you can take the hammer, but it's mine. Although I'm scared I might get hit with a counter in this state. I hit him! I was trying to fight using Byleth's abilities alone, but what matters is that I won. Good game.
GG.
It can be fun to play like this, especially in tag team, so I think it's a good idea to try imposing different types of challenges on yourself. The end. Now, about the additional music. Since it's from the Fire Emblem series, we'll be adding each of the new tracks to all the Fire Emblem stages. There are already a lot of Fire Emblem tracks in the game. Our selection this time has been made taking those existing tracks into consideration. 11 songs are being added. This includes an arrangement of the main theme in both Japanese and English. I hope you'll enjoy these as well.
Good.
We're also adding in a new spirit board. It
Dorothea!
includes the house leaders among some of the other popular characters.
Dorothea spirit.
Sothis is Legend class. Also, there's a new classic mode route, a Heroic Legacy, which is designed to let you enjoy classic Fire Emblem stages from throughout the series' history. The final battle is against Master Hand and Crazy Hand, but you'll find that something pretty amusing happens, so look forward to that. Now for the Mii Fighter costumes. Please take a look.
Oh. Deconfirm boys. The deconfirm boys are here. I don't think they deconfirm anything, honestly. Ezio? Or not Ezio, it's fucking Altair. I mean, Ubisoft, you know, it's not that surprising, but damn. Rapids. Guys, Rayman's looking pretty likely. Ooh, let's go. This is already in, wasn't it? In Wii U? I think all these were. Give me trigger. Cuphead? Oh, let's go. Cuphead costume. Cuphead is basically in the game. Okay. First Sans, now Cuphead. I mean, if you have a character that works as a Mii, why not? Makes everybody happy. Comes with a song too, that's cool. January 28th. So I guess that's probably when the characters drop.
This time we're releasing a Cuphead costume. And for those of you who purchased the Cuphead costume, an additional song will be added. It's called Floral Fury, and it's the theme that plays when fighting Cagney Carnation.
I own it.
I hope you enjoy these as well. After purchasing a costume, I recommend using the sharing feature. If someone has created a Mii fighter, you can play using the costume it's wearing immediately after you download
Narukami. Yuri.
it. And now, onto the amiibo.
Woo! Oh, it's just these.
The color palette for Dark Samus looks pretty good, doesn't it?
Didn't they already
Dark
show
Samus
these at
and
like
Richter
a
are planned for release
convention?
on Friday, January 17th.
Oh, let's go. I think I might have already known that. Pre-ordered it a while ago.
And now, with the addition of Byleth, the Fighter's Pass is finally complete. The lineup was Joker, Hero, Banjo and Kazooie, Terry Bogard,
I'm
and
100% okay with that roster. No complaints, honestly.
from more than 70 fighters, only 5 have been added. But I must say, this game has always been an exceptional experience. And since the roster was already so large to begin with, right from the start, we intended to make the most out of the new gameplay mechanics and so on. There really were a lot of new mechanics, weren't there? When we add a new fighter, we don't simply make their attacks or their movements a little different. Instead, we try to offer you a whole new style of play. As I stated, we'll continue to release more DLC fighters down the line.
Yeah.
I had thought that 1 or 2 might suffice, but, well, have a look.
What? Huh? Six?
Looks like there will be 1 more fighter than last time. For this reason, we will be releasing the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Fighters Pass Volume 2. It will be available for pre-purchase on the date shown, so please keep an eye out. And now that it's official,
By
we intend to move
2021
ahead with
December.
development. Of course, like last time, the contents will remain unknown for now, and I'm personally very sorry that we have to release Fighters Pass Volume 2 when the details have yet to be revealed. Like last time, I'd be very grateful if, despite that, you would understand why and purchase it. Furthermore, the new additions have already been decided. Even if I receive many requests regarding potential candidates on Twitter,
Leave him
I'm afraid it would
alone.
be very hard to consider them.
Leave this man alone.
but I still hope you'll look forward to it. We're also including a bonus with Fighters Pass Volume 2. Last time, it was a Rex costume, but this time, here's what we have. It's a Mii Fighter costume for Mii Sword Fighter,
Okay.
the ancient soldier gear from The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Cool.
This will not be for sale individually, so it can only be acquired as part of Fighters Pass Volume 2.
Wow. God, Rob's dead. Lastly,
It's been reported that Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is the highest selling fighting game in the world. Personally, I don't know if it counts as simply a fighting game, but I guess it's seen as a fighting game around the world. Seems like Street Fighter 2 was in the lead for a while, but now Super Smash Bros. Ultimate has surpassed it in total sales. However, I'm not sure if this is accurate. There were 5 versions of Street Fighter 2, or 6 to 7 if we really want to get into the weeds. Plus, there's the arcade versions and the 25 ports to other
loves
systems,
Street Fighter
so I
so
don't
much,
know if
he's like,
that's been accounted for.
bruh.
Also, I don't know if that really qualifies as one game. It's up for discussion. So, who knows? But when it comes to a single piece of software, it seems like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is #1. Although, I still don't know if it can really be called just a fighting game. I feel like it's become more than a fighting game, some sort of celebration of gaming or something else entirely. Also, I feel a deep attachment to the 5 DLC fighters. The first Fighters Pass just wrapped up, but it was decided that there will be more DLC, which means no breaks for me. I plan to keep working hard, so I hope you can continue to support us. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. I thought it was gonna be a third-party character also, but when people were like, well, it's obviously gonna be a third-party character, it's like, no. When does this man ever follow rules? Never. Give us fucking Joker first. This is crazy. Yeah, I don't think you could really want too much more out of the Fighter Pass. At least I definitely don't. I just really want a Tails character, man. That's what I want, mainly. That's like... Man. And with 6 characters, I feel like it might be pretty likely. I still think Tekken probably deserves this a lot more if Namco only gets 1. But like, man, how's Namco gone this long without another character? I think they're just being like humble. They're like, we don't want to cram a bunch of our characters in the game. Which, I mean, I want them to. Where's Solaire? Solaire. Give us Solaire. It's like a, I don't know, Mii costume. That'd be cool. More third-party Mii costumes, that's crazy. Rayman seems really likely now. After Altair and Rabbids. So a lot of Ubisoft. Man. Well, I love Three Houses, I love Fire Emblem, I love Byleth. Oh, sorry. This direct was I was definitely, oh god, I'm tired. I was in this direct's target demographic. But hey, if you didn't like it, 6 more characters. Your character's probably gonna get in if they're popular enough. So just hang out a little bit longer. Anyway, thanks for watching. I will catch you on the next one, and hopefully it's not too far away, because I really want to know who the next character is. And when are we getting the amiibo? I need Joker amiibo. Anyway, see ya. Have a good one. Until next time. Bye.